ブリーチ
Okay, let's read chapter 49 of Bleach. Chapter 49, you can see Unchained or Unchained. The previous chapter ended with something kind of wasn't quite clear happening with Ishida here. He touched the sword and like something weird was happening. And he said, and it ended with korewa, like this is, or as for this, and that was the end. So let's continue. Chiri, bachi, like kind of like crackling or sparking or something like flowing. Okay. Dong. So this is like his bow. It looks really big. Bidi bidi gori beki beki. Korewa. Again, after this, or this is nagare konde kiteru. It's coming and flowing. It's like flowing into me. It's flowing suddenly. Dokun, dokun, dokun. This is like heartbeat. Badump, badump. Korewa. As for this. So again, he's touching the blade here. Dokun, or the top of the blade, not touching the sharp part. Dokun, dokun, dokun. Kurosaki no chikara ka? Kurosaki's power? Okay, so it's like it's flowing into me. It's flowing toward me. Kurosaki's power, his strength. 同じ霊力を作った戦いでも、死神とクイーン氏の戦い方は全くの逆だ。Okay. So, even though it's the same fight using spiritual strength, or like the same users fighting with spiritual strength, even though that's the same, the Shinigami and the Quincy's, as for their way of fighting, it's wholly different. Completely different. Okay. 死神は自らの魂を使って作り出した霊力を残白刀として具現化し、炎と戦おう。Okay. As for the Shinigami, from one's own soul, making or using one's own soul, and they send out and make, or they produce spiritual energy in the form of the Zanpakuto, the Gu Gen Ka, which is to like a tool that appears. Gugen. The incarnation, like an incarnation transformation. And they fight the hollows. So fighting the hollows with a incarnation transformation of the Zanpakuto, that's the blade again, that is or uses a spiritual strength that is produced from using the soul from oneself. That's the Shinigami. So there you see his soul, his spirit flowing in to produce this. Iwaba, so to speak, or as it were, uchi kara no chikara ni yoru tatakai. It's a fight according to a strength from within. So it's fighting from using the strength from within. Gyaku ni Quincy wa, on the other hand, as for the Quincy's, or oppositely, as for the Quincy's, you can see where this is going from the picture. Daikichu ni henzai suru reiki o shusoku shi, それを自らの霊力でコーティングすることで、霊視並走として具現化し、炎と戦おう。So it's the same sort of construct. They're fighting the hollows with the, again, incarnation transformation of a Reishi Heiso, which is like a spirit kid soldier equipment. Reishi. I don't think. Yeah. Reishi. That reishi is probably not going to be an actual word. Okay, it does not appear to be. And heiso should just mean like military equipment. That's not coming up either, but that is what that should mean also. Okay. Okay, so let's try this from back here. As oppositely as for the Quincy's, with a like big spirit throughout, heizai suru or henzai suru. Did it again. Uneven distribution. Okay. Taikichu. Taikichu. Okay. Atmosphere. Really? Taikichu? Just ignore it. Taikichu ni henzai suru. Okay, so like throughout the atmosphere, uneven distribution. Uneven distribution doing. Uneven distribution throughout the atmosphere. Spiritual energy collecting. Shusoku.
Hello there.
Hello there. Focusing. Focusing spiritual energy and soreo mizukara no reiryoku. And then that thing with one's own spiritual energy, coating, doing a coating. Okay. Okay, wow. All right. So again, like throughout the atmosphere, the uneven distribution of spiritual energy, they focus it, and then that thing with their own spiritual strength, they coat it. They coat that stuff, that spiritual energy with their own spiritual strength. And then as a spiritual child military weapon, incarnation transformation. Okay, so that's what this is. They fight hollows. Okay, so in other words, from within, making the sword to fight hollows, from without, using the energy to manifest the weapon to then fight hollows. All that, iwaba, that is to say, as it were, soto kara no chikara ni yoru tatakai, fighting according to strength from without, or from the outside. Okay. Ima boku ga, oh, this is Ishida. Ima boku ga Kurosaki no katana ni fureta koto de, boku no reishi heiso kojaku wa kyodai kashita. Okay. Right now, me to the katana of Kurosaki, like touching it, when I touched his blade, my, again, spiritual child military weapon, the kojaku, which I think is the orphan. No. Oh, okay. This is like a combo word. Ko here means like lone or orphaned, and the jaku there is Yeah, it's sparrow, suzume. Yeah, suzume. Okay. So he calls his weapon kojaku, which means like lone or orphan sparrow. So as for that, it magnified. So again, pulling that all together, when I touch Kurosaki's blade right now, my spiritual weapon, kojaku, magnified. It got really big. Boy, there's a lot of double entendres here. これはおそらく黒崎の残白糖から無意識に放出されている霊気が僕に触れることで収束されたためだ。Yeah, されたためだ。Okay, so as for this thing, perhaps from Kurosaki's Zanpakuto, muishiki, like subconsciously. I think muishiki is subconsciously. Yeah, unconsciously. Unconsciously or subconsciously. Hoshutsu sareteru reiki. Like spiritual energy was being drawn out. And to me, like from through the touching, the focusing was being done for that purpose. Okay. 無意識の放出でこれならば if the releasing is involuntary or subconscious or unconscious, if that's the case, and let me just hoshutsu. Yeah, release or emission. So if the release of that is subconscious, he touches him directly. Kurosaki. Ah. Yeah, exactly. The touching his blade. Nanda yo. Wow. What is it? Whoa. Look at the size of that thing. Nanda sono yumi. What is it? That bow. Nande sonna dekkaku natteんだ? Why that sort of huge has it become? Why did it get that big? いいから聞けよ. It's fine. Listen. 僕たち we あいつを倒せるかもしれない can probably take out that guy. We can probably take out that guy. Ah? Huh? They're gonna touch swords. Okay, after all of that, we finally get the splash page. There we go. For chapter 49, Unchained. And again, remember, Urahara here had said this was a necessary fight because Kuchiki-san was trying to stop them. Ishida to tonari ni iru Ichigo wa mieru ka? So Ishida and as for Ichigo, like next to him, are they visible? Can you see them? Yeah. Hakkirito, clearly, plainly? Yep. Ah. So ka, I see. Ore ni wa kasurete mieru. As for to me, they're visible kasurete. They're like blurry invisible. So she can see them hakkiri, clearly, hakkiri. And he says kasurete, blurry. So they're either looking through the window or they're just seeing them from afar with their powers or something. ここで見ててくださいか? Oh no, they're looking out the window. Like from this place, like please look, shall we? 見て look それから選べってことかな? And from that and from there choose, saying that it was that sort of a thing. 私たちの歩く道を our walking path. So yeah, so watch, and then from there, shall we choose the path that we'll walk? Okay. There's Orihime, a view of Ichigo, and then Honto wa, as for reality or as for the truth. Honto wa nani hitotsu wasurete nan ka inakatta? As for reality or as for the truth, what one thing wasurete nan ka inakatta? Like, this is like, haven't even forgotten one thing. In reality, I haven't even forgotten one thing. Ta-da! Simply, 化け物になったお兄ちゃんと黒崎くんが殺し合う the big brother who had become a monster and Kurosaki killing each other. その自分の記憶を私は疑うことしかできなかっただっけ? Utagao is to doubt. So one's own memory. As for me, there was nothing possible to do but just doubt it. Okay. In reality, didn't forget a single thing. Or even one thing didn't forget. Simply, Kurosaki and my big brother would become a monster, killing each other. And one's own memory, as for me, like doubting event, only that was possible. Sado-kun. Okay, that's him, Chad. So this is her talking. Atashi tachi, we, どうしたらいいのかな? What if do is good? I wonder what we should do. Yosh! Junbi kanryo! Alright, preparations are complete. これでやつと戦えるぞ! With this, able to fight that guy. Okay. Gori. Omae, bakataro? Like, you're an idiot, aren't you? Nani? What? Combo. That's right. The combo attack. Alright. Gocha monku wo yuna. Gocha is to, like, prattle on complaints, don't say. So don't prattle on complaining. こうして常に君の力と僕の体が接触した状態で君が意識的に霊力を全開で放出すれば。すれば。Doing it this way, continually your sword and my body in the condition of touching. Okay, so in other words, if your sword and my body are continually touching and we do it this way, your subconsciously spiritual energy, all of it will open and I guess, like, if it's released. So we can do it this way if it's released that way. Zenkai should be like Yeah, fully open. Fully opening of the spiritual energy from you. Okay. 僕はとてつもなく強大な矢を放つことができるはずなんだ. And as for me, a stupidly or unbelievably giant arrow releasing event ought to be possible. So I ought to be able to shoot out a massive arrow. Hey, have a good one, Wim. さあ、力を解放しろ. Well then, release strength. 霊力をコントロールして最大出力にするんだ. So again, release strength, spiritual strength or spirit strength, control it, control the spirit strength, and a huge like release of energy you must do. Totally no other innuendos there. Output, shutsuryoku. And out, going out of strength.
Oh, ha, 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 ha.
Okay, Don, get out of here. 俺、今まで霊力をコントロールしたことなんかねえんだけど. Okay, so me, up until now, up until now, controlling spiritual strength or whatever, haven't done. I haven't really done that up until now. Nani? What? バカな。それじゃあ、今までどうやってホロと戦っていたんだ? Impossible. If it's that way, then up until now, how have you been fighting and taking out hollows? How have you been fighting hollows up until now? ノリかな? I guess it's ノリ? Nori would be to ride. What would it mean as a noun? Paste, glue, writing, seat of the pants. Wait, where did I get seat of the pants? Oh, spread of paints and two-seater. No. Mood? No. Nori. It's not glue. It's not seaweed. To get on. What can nori mean as a verb? To get on, to reach, to follow, to be deceived, to stick. Rule, law, that it can also be nori. Okay, I don't know. He says, it's nori, I guess. The English went with instinct. I don't know how to get nori from instinct. If I type in instinct, I'm not going to get anything. Okay. Well, there you go. Nori? Oh, わかんねえよ、そんなの. I don't know, that sort of thing. Like, I don't know. 霊力をコントロールっていっぱい出したり止めたりするってことだろ? Okay, so I don't know what's going on. I don't know that sort of thing. Again, spiritual strength, controlling, talking about that, it's like full of coming out and like stopping it. It's that sort of a thing. Yeah, so it's like putting it out and stopping it. That's what you mean by controlling, right? そんな水道の蛇口。そんな水道の蛇口見て生ね。見て生ね。ほいほいできてたまるかよ。Okay, that's sort of like this is like water faucet. So suido is the waterway and the jaguchi is the spigot. Jaguchi. Yeah, a faucet or a tap. So that's sort of a water tap or water faucet. Mite namane. 見て生ね。Mite namane. I'm not quite sure. Hoi hoi dikite tamaruka. How could I stand things being hoi hoi? Which is like, kind of like random or splitting here and there. そんな水量のじゃがじゅ見てnamane. I think this is like, I don't see that sort of as like water spigot. He's talking about controlling his strength. So it's like, I don't have that. And so then like, how could I possibly, I guess, do it, control it? The English went with, but there's no faucet. How am I supposed to control its flow? Okay. 俺の霊力がすげえってなら、常に全開なんじゃねえの? My spiritual strength, if it's incredible, or if you're saying my spiritual strength is amazing or awesome, constantly on full throttle, perhaps it's that. Okay, that's his reaction. Now this is Ishida thinking, 常に全開? Always full throttle? Always fully open? なるほど。それなら、あの霊力の高さにも、納得がいく? Not toku, which is agreement or comprehension. So I see now, if it's that way, or if it's that thing, that spiritual energy, it's high level. Even that understanding, I can understand that. しかし, however, 常に全開状態で always in a full open status, 霊力を放出し続けながら、平然としてるとは、やはりむちゃくちゃなやつだ. Okay, so however, again, constantly being in the condition of full throttle, and while continuing to emit spiritual strength, heizen, being calm? Yeah, calm, composed, cool, quiet. As for being calm and cool and composed while continually pumping out spiritual energy, as I thought, he's a crazy guy. All right. Okay, this guy is still here. Chiri. What? こいつの霊圧が急速に高まっていく? This guy's spiritual pressure. Did we actually see an actual word for reiatsu? No. Okay, this guy's spiritual pressure suddenly or quickly increased. It's gone and quickly increased. Sero da. It's sero. Okay, what is sero? It's sero. Okay, this is gonna be. We're gonna have to look up these kanji. Let's start with the roll. We've got mon. To flash. Okay. Is this roll? No, that's sen. But to flash, to brandish. And then that looks kind of like geki. Oh, no, it's a different thing. Okay. I'm gonna have to zoom in really close here. I always forget how to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And then we've got Manabu down here. Okay, what is that? Vacant Munashi? Void. Okay. Alright, so these kanji mean like void flash, or brandishing the void. She calls it sero, which sounds like it would be, I don't know, sero. Sero. Selo. It wouldn't be zero. But anyway, that's what she's calling this. Yatsume, that guy, Kokode, in this place, Sero o Hanatsutsu ga, intending to release a Sero. Again, a void flash. Nigero! Flee! Hayaku! Quickly! Kisama nado ga are o kuraeba kakera mo nokoranu zo. You guys are, yeah, you, if eat that thing, or if you get hit by that thing, or if you absorb that thing, not even like kakera will remain. There'll basically be nothing left. Yeah, fragments won't even fragments won't remain if you eat that attack. Nigeru no da, Ichigo. You must flee, Ichigo. This is Urukia. She's thinking this. Remember that Urahara put a binding spell on her so she can't move or do anything. Okay. Bidi bidi bidi. Goku? Gulp. I guess that's a Buku? Okay. やはりこれ以外に方法はない。As I thought, outside of this thing, a method does not exist. So we have no other way of doing this other than this. Zan. Ikuzo, Kurosaki. Let's go, Kurosaki. 僕の体にもう一度刀を接触させ to my body one more time. Make your sword touch my body one more time. Sase ro? Kurosaki? 待ってから、どこ行く Kurosaki? Wait, you? Where are you going? バカな. Idiot, or impossible. 策もなく敵の懐に飛び込み、力任せに攻撃する? Okay. 策もなく Saku Monaku. The Saku here is, even without a plan. Impossible, even without a plan, to the enemy's like bosom, flying towards the enemy's bosom, or where he is, and like releasing energy attack. Chikara makase. Oh, with all one's strength. Doing an attack with all one's might. And again, futokoro should mean like, yeah, bosom, etc. Okay. そんなのは戦いじゃない。子供の喧嘩だ. As for that sort of a thing, a fight it is not. It's a kid's battle. It's the way that kids fight. Or spar. 2度目は as for the second one, 懐にさえ入れてもらえないぞ. Even to the bosom will not receive entering. Like he's not going to make it there. Kurosaki. 2度目は Yeah, as for the second time, even to the bosom will not receive entering. Kurosaki. The English went with he'll never survive this one. Okay. What's this? Gyu. Kikon. Or is it kyun? More kyun. Go. Okay, a big blast is coming. Bachin. All right, sword deflect. Wah! Ha. Ajita. Which is to like pull. Aji. To repel. Repelled it? All right, some sort of sound going on here. Nanda? Kyome? Yeah, what is that? What is this? That kyome, that common sound? That resonance, that sympathetic sound. Dokun. Nanda? Kono ijo na reatsu wa? What is it? This exceedingly spiritual pressure. Ijo. Abnormal? Yeah, this strange spiritual pressure. What is this? Okay. Kurosaki no chikara ga, Kurosaki's strength or his power, zoudai shiteru is increasing. Kurosaki's strength is increasing. Zoldai. Yeah, enlarging. Kyome ni yotte ka? Is it due to the resonance? Suna no naka ni umoreta satetsu ga kyōryoku na jishaku de muriari horiokosareru yoni. Okay, so like from the middle of sand, buried sand iron? Satetsu? Satetsu. Iron sand. Iron sand, strongly, like with a magnet, forcibly being dug out. It's like iron sand being drawn out forcibly from sand with a strong magnet. Okay. そんなに全開なんじゃねえの? Constantly being at full throttle, is this not it? That's what he had said. That's what Kurosaki said. Is it not that it's like constantly on full throttle? Oh, da. I see. That's right. 冷静に考えればそんなことあるはずがない? Leisei, like calmly or coolly, if think about it rationally, that sort of a thing, ought to be, it is not. It ought not to be that sort of thing. どんなに霊力が高かろうと, however high the spiritual energy or the spiritual strength, その霊力の線を常に全開にしていては, that spiritual strength, sen. What is sen? This sen. Stopper, cork. Constantly being, as for that, well, I guess the stopper or the cork, the plug of that spiritual strength is constantly being in an open position. すぐに霊力は枯渇してしまうはずだ. Soon, as for the spiritual strength, 枯渇, it ought to do 枯渇. It ought to dry up, run out. Okay. So no matter how high the spiritual strength is, if the cork, the stopper of the spiritual strength is always open, then soon that spiritual strength will run out. It'll dry up. 霊力をコントロールなんてしたことねえんだ. And again, this is what Kurosaki had said before. So spiritual strength, controlling, or things like that, haven't done before. したことねえんだ. 霊力をコントロールできないということは, as for not being able to control spiritual strength, つまり霊力を待って余しているということだ. All that means is something about, it's the event of waiting in something, the spiritual strength. No, mote, holding. Okay. Mote amaru is to be too much for someone, beyond someone's control. Okay. So again, as for that whole thing about not being able to control spiritual energy, what that means is it's really the event of like it being too much to control. It's being too much to manage. もし蛇口をひねってとんでもない量の水が出てきたなら, okay, so if you opened a spigot and a horrific amount of water came out, 大抵の人間は驚いて本能的に蛇口を閉めるだろう. Generally, or as for the average person, 大抵. Yeah, most people, as for most people, they'd be surprised and instinctively, they'd close the spigot, right? 彼も, he also, そうだったとしたら, that way if did, so he also, if he did it that way, in other words, if he closed the spigot, 黒崎いちご, 彼の普段の霊力が, 黒崎いちご, his like normal spiritual strength, ... Udon. Yeah, his usual spiritual strength. Okay, so if he closed his spigot, then ... 常に閉じた状態なのだとしたら, constantly closed condition, if it were that, if he did it in a constantly closed position or state, okay. そして, and so, did I miss something? No, I didn't miss something there. And so, 何かのきっかけだ、それがこじ開けられたならば、and okay, so and then something 何かのきっかけ I guess if something by chance or something on the occasion, that thing koji aketera. I guess that's like to open suddenly. Yeah, to wrench open. If something suddenly wrenched that open, if that were the case, or if that happened, so if he closed it and then suddenly wrenched it open. Oops. Okay. And there we go. Finally. A big old don. Okay. And that's the end of the chapter. All right. And the image we get here at the end of the chapter with our sketch is a spigot with the handle falling off. I'm sure that's fine, right? Okay. That's the end of chapter 49. We'll continue next time with chapter 50. I guess some things don't change.